Are we back? Hopefully we are back. We're back. Everyone can hear me. Oh boy. Well, sorry that happened. I was talking about 3-0 versus 4-0 with South. Camel bid 4-0. 6-0 Trump from North. Z expects that he can make it, and I think he might be correct. Diamond opening lead around to the Queen. Club to the Jack. The entire club suit runs, so we're going to get 7 clubs, 2 hearts, 3 spades, and a diamond. All of the tricks. All right, Michael. Time to just click that little claim button that we've got. We can count to 13. Some of us can count to 13. Well, Wolfson gonna pick up their, what is this? 990, 11 imps. Oh, 1020. Same 11 imps. Alright, I'm all caught up. We're back. Board 39. So South passes. Michael's not going to open, I don't believe. 10 count, 5 spades, but not quite an opening bid. So 2 passes around to Zia, who I believe will open a diamond in the 3rd seat. We'll get a 2 club overcall. Yes, and then what is South supposed to do? Are we supposed to just raise diamonds because we have good diamonds and want the lead, and we can probably make a 3 diamond bid? Or should we make a negative double and try and find a heart suit in partner's hand? I think doing something like bidding 3 hearts, a fit showing jump, might be a bit much with the South cards. That would force us to the 4 level in diamonds, which would be a little bit too high. Michael decides just 2 diamonds. Makes sense. Just get your fit off your chest. If the opponents have spades, they're always going to outcompete you anyway. I mean, I think I would prefer to 3 diamond bid to try and preempt the opponents out of spades. But this is what Michael chose. So 2 spades by West, 4 diamonds splinter by Zach. He is really hoping that his partner has the perfect hand over there, right? I mean, what would the perfect hand be? Ace, King, Queen, 5th of spades and out, and you play the opening bidder for the Club King, I guess. Michael could have Ace, King, 6th. That would be the perfect hand. All right, Craig, take care. Thanks for dropping by. Sorry about the internet problems. 4 hearts, last train. I don't think that's good enough for Zach. He does have terrible trumps after all. Ace King 6th would be a lot in the spade suit. Michael's red 2-level openers are closer to strong 2-bids than preamps. I think that's taking a bit too far, but I know what you mean. King of Diamonds lead from Zia. This is gonna cost him his club ruff. They were always making it, though. Could only get one club ruff. Club lead, win the ace of spades, diamond over, club ruff. So this will be 650, and a 1 imp pickup for Rosenthal. No real problems for Declare with that Jack of Spades dropping singleton. So Zia tries to force the dummy. Sometimes an effective defense. If he could somehow, I don't know, pull 3 rounds of trumps, they would have diamond to cash. But alright, spade to the Jack and Queen. Ducked, another round of spades. And Declare can just claim. Actually, yeah, this is a much better play. Ruff the diamond and then another round of spades so that you don't get trapped in dummy. If he had played the king of spades, Zia might have won, forced dummy, and then if Zia had a club void, he would get a ruff. Good technical play by Rosenberg here. So club around to the king, pull the last trump. Wait, maybe it wasn't good technical play. He needed to unblock the ace-king of hearts, right? Wait. I was just praising Michael on ruffing the 3rd diamond. But he needed to ruff the diamond and then play the ace-king of hearts before the second... Whatever. Clubs were not 4-0. No problem. It's late in the tournament. Alright, Michael gets to open, I think they opened this a club? I think they're one of these pairs that is 1 club, only a 4-4-3-2, but no, it looks like not. They opened a diamond. Alright, a diamond, 2 clubs, double. South bids 2 diamonds, okay. Good start. I mean, that is a lot of diamonds for this auction in the south hand. 2 diamonds, not particularly preemptive. Michael starts with a 2 spade bid, figuring that he has a fit for both majors, so he just needs to find one. He was planning to bid 3 hearts next. 4 spades from Zach. That is a lot of bidding on Queen Doubleton of clubs. I mean, it might work out for him. And 4 spades is going to end the auction, I think. Zia's hand is all defense. And Zia's going to lead a club, so Declare can pick off the club suit, then pick off the spade suit because the honors are split. Queen of Hearts is on side. There's no way to get South in to get a diamond ruff. This looks likely to make to me. Although... yeah, no, I don't think there's much to the play. This is just going to go Queen of Clubs holding. Spade to the Jack. Club continuation, win the ace. Heart to the ace, spade hook. Pull the last trump, heart finesse. Maybe lead a diamond to the Jack at some point. Bidding aggressive games pays off at imps. Here comes the second spade. Wow. At the other table on this board, East-West sold out to 3 clubs in the north. So that was only 50 points for them. Making 420 here would be 9 imps. And I don't really see what else Michael can do on this hand. Pull the last trump, try the heart finesse, it works. Try and pick off the diamond suit. There's no way to go wrong in diamonds. You'll lead a low diamond to the Jack, and North is going to show out. Probably the Jack of Hearts now. There's some chance you can end play someone if you misguess the diamonds. Like if hearts are 3-3, you go Jack of Hearts, heart to the king, everything splits, club to the ace, heart pitch a diamond, diamond to the Jack. South gets in, plays a diamond back through, and North has like a doubleton 10. I mean, that would give North a really terrible 2-club overcall, but I suppose we've seen Zia do worse. Maybe he just plays on diamonds now because he's thinking about possibly guessing South for the Queen doubleton of hearts. You want to make the discovery play that gives you the information you need, of course. Are we frozen? I don't think so. Nope, Michael's just thinking after pulling the last trump. Michael 1, frozen 0. I think I'm coming around to diamond to the Jack. I think this is a good play. Like, if Zia does have one of the diamond honors, South might need the Heart Queen for their limit raise. So we probably do lead a diamond up to the Jack first. I suppose we don't get a ton of information, though. Like, let's say we play diamond to the jack and South wins the ace. And then South plays back a club. We win the ace. How do I get to the east hand to lead a diamond back towards my queen? I don't, right? I don't know. Well, Michael's puzzling through the problem. In the meantime, on the very next hand, we have a Grand Slam alert. The other table is on their way to investigating a Grand Slam in diamonds. Yeah, I mean, low diamond now really only helps if North has a diamond void. Alright, he does get Jack of Hearts. Zia covers with the queen. This is going to make Michael very happy. Now we can cash 2 more hearts, pitching a diamond, cash the ace of clubs, and play a diamond to the jack. And in fact, we're just going to get a count on North's hand when we do this. So we will in fact know that diamonds are 6-0. Alright, Michael, come on, speed up the play. Now you know how to play the hand. Heart to the 10. Alright, we're not here to, like, try and actually just troll everyone constantly. If your trolls are funny, then it's okay. If your trolls are not funny, then it does annoy me, and you will get timed out / banned. Maybe Nat Silver can be the new DT. Nine imps to Rosenthal. So they're back on top by 33. This has been a good set for them. Okay, but here we go. This is the auction I'm looking for. 1 diamond by North. 2 clubs. Game force. 2 spades. Natural. 2 no trump. Just right-siding the no trump. We have the ace-jack of hearts we want to protect. And we also conserve space. And then what? Zia might try 3 diamonds over that. Is this the auction that's going on in the other room? Almost. North actually decided to just bid 3 no trump over 2 no trump by South. But so South has a 18 count. Missed the jack of diamonds for a second. I think it's too good of a hand to bypass 3 no as a sign-off. Alright, North does bid 3 no. So South is going to have to bid it again over this. The options would seemingly be 4 no trump, just like a quantitative invite, which is reasonable. Or you could bid 4 diamonds to show a little bit of a diamond fit. I think I like this choice. If we had more diamond length with a slam try, we probably would have bid 3 diamonds over 2 spades. So 4 diamonds, 4 hearts, a cubid. Time for us to bid key card, I think. We care about the ace, king, queen of diamonds, and partners kings. Well, I got news for you. The other table did reach 7 diamonds. 7 diamonds by North. Which looks like it's just going to be effectively cold. I know it seems silly to say because the Jack of Spades doesn't fall and the King of Clubs, we can't rough out the Club King, but West just gets squeezed in the black suits. There's no way around it. Declare is just going to rough a heart and pull all of the trumps and potentially try and rough out a King doubleton of clubs, but West does just get squeezed in the black suits. Wow, Michael just bids 5-no, pick a slam. Huh. Zia has chosen 6 diamonds. I think this is getting the auction. This will be another really nice result for Rosenthal. Wow. Very much wow. East gets off to a heart lead. So we'll see Zia quickly scoop up the tricks. Adam says definitely not cold. Declare will have to guess what happened. Probably goes wrong in 7 diamonds. I guess what you're saying is Declare can just run all of their suits before going ace and rough a club. That's true. And then you cash all 3 spades, and West is going to be down to a stiff king of clubs with the jack of spades in the end game, and then you take a club finesse. They might do that. They might do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that if you rough a heart and go club and club rough, you find out trumps are 4-1, and so you can't rough out clubs. Then spades are blocked, but it's just a simple squeeze, right? West can't hold jack 4th of spades and the king of clubs in a 4-card ending. We come down to king 4th of spades, opposite ace queen 10, as well as the queen of clubs. It's just a simple squeeze on West. West is going to come down to the king of clubs and jack 3rd of spades because they'll have to pitch. Yeah, so like some line of play that looked like this is what I thought might happen in 7 diamonds. So, okay, I didn't articulate my point well. Fair. But this is what I thought might happen. I mean, Zia's in 6 diamonds, so he just doesn't care about what's happening. Declare went with your line first. Wait, why does Declare have to guess? I mean, we could play a spade to the king and play this as a trump squeeze. We could have played this as spade to the king and played it as a trump squeeze. No, we couldn't. We know about the 4-1 diamonds. No. Oh, in at the other table. Oh, at the other table in 7 diamonds. Sorry, I was looking at the table that was on screen. My bad. You're totally right. 7 diamonds went down too in the other room. We'll take a look at that at the break. I apologize. He took the right line with clubs being 3-4. So odds favor it being the hand with 4. Gotcha. and Zia makes all 13 tricks on the black suit squeeze. Yeah, at this table, Zia's line of play, he was only in 6. Well, that's a big swing going the way of Wolfson. 7 diamonds going down in the other room. It's a pretty good contract. Zia was listening to me. I think Zia's just chilling. 3 passes around to north. Really? Wait. Don't Zia and Michael play this as weak with a major? So what is this supposed to mean in 4th seed? I mean, apparently it's just natural with diamonds. It's like a minimum 1 diamond, 2 diamonds. Yeah, it's a super complex hand. I'm glad that Adam is still interested in, like, analyzing bridge after playing, what was it? 8 days of, like, grueling high-level bridge and not having any time to sit out. He's back home, he's taken a couple days off, and now he's like, time to get right back in there. 7 diamonds, sign me up for analyzing which squeeze to play for. It is still fun. You're so right. I mean, that's why we're all here, yeah? Because thinking about bridge is fun, and solving problems is fun. Hey, SHG, thanks so much. I'm glad to have you with us. Flannery in 4th seat. I mean, you would play Flannery in 4th seat if you had it on the card. But this is the godly week 2 in diamonds. Godly week 2. Two diamonds past 3 now. Two diamonds 2 now. Asking. Stop bugging Adam. We talked about it. If Adam wants to join, he's always welcome. Other room, ... Passed out. Yeah, I was wondering if the other room might pass out this hand. I mean, Zia's hand is pretty garbo. They get to 2 now. Asking. Pass. This is the second time today we've seen Zia just pass his partner's forcing bid. Earlier, Zia passed keycard. Was incorrect then, too. I mean, he's right. His hand is pretty bad. Yeah, everything works. The heart is on side, the diamond's on side. Not the greatest 3-no trump contract. Clubs are 4-4. Yeah, he passed the 5 diamonds it was earlier. Which, like, honestly, it was understandable. I mean, they got to the wrong minor suit game on that board. But playing a minor suit game was the right thing to do because you needed the jack of diamonds to fall in your 7 fit for slam to be good. Which is what, like 52% or something? I mean, so it's like fine to be in the slam. Can't imagine 2-no trump isn't forcing. Well, neither could Michael. Michael asked. He said 2-no. Yeah, it wasn't keycard. He passed the king ask, which was... That was not even the fifth bid on my radar. Wait, we just exited a heart? That feels like a... probably not the right card to play in that situation. We're just trying to... we're trying to make partner feel better about themselves for passing 2 no trump. We took our 8 tricks, pard. Look, you did good. Only cost an imp. For the partnership harmony, we want to make sure that we take exactly the right number of tricks for our contract. A 3 to Wolfson, so now it's only a 16 imp match. And I thought things were getting out of hand. There has been an awful lot of bidding in the other room, and I don't know where it came from on this board. South bids 2 diamonds, bad week 2 in a major. Michael Camel, after Zia's 2 diamond opener on the previous hand, this shows a week 2 in a major. There we go. It's hard for things to get out of hand in one day. Hey, tell that to Team Kaplan's opponents for at least the semifinals and finals. 2 hearts, pass or correct? Yeah, two no trump in the other room on a separate multi-auction. Over there, West was the one who opened 2 diamonds multi. North eventually bid 2 no trump, and South was like... 5 diamonds. So 2 hearts, pass, pass, 2 spades by Rosenberg. Okay. Looks like that's the end of the auction. Ace of clubs lead. Well, look at that. You are going to be able to give your partner club rough. So ace of clubs, club rough? Yeah, I found his partner's singleton. Yeah, Queen of Hearts switch sounds good. We can always give partner a club rough later, but we might need that club rough entry to get a heart rough ourselves. So Queen of Hearts to the ace, 5 of hearts back, maybe the 8 of hearts back, I don't know. 8 of hearts back. Michael's like, you know that king was singleton, right? It wasn't suit preference for hearts. I don't think there's any danger if Michael doesn't take this trick. Like, West can win, but Zia would then just win the first round of spades, club rough, ace of hearts, heart rough. I mean, the biggest clue that partner has switched to a singleton heart is the fact that partner could have given him a club rough and didn't. Yes, Zia might have 6 clubs. It's possible. And that might be what South is thinking over. I mean, maybe it is correct for him to duck this trick, but this seems very dangerous. If partner spades are not headed by the ace, you could lose out on a club ruff. Like, maybe your partner expects it to go ace of hearts, heart ruff, club ruff, heart ruff, club ruff to beat it from here. He didn't want Michael to get in and try a low heart. So I think Michael's going to work out. Well, sorry, Camel is going to work out. Nope, just kidding. But as I said, it doesn't cost. There's no dummy entry to pitch that club on the ace of diamonds. Well played by Chris to make 5 diamonds in the other room. It does seem like it was fairly well played. He essentially had to cross-ruff the entire hand, I imagine. You can pull one trump with the stiff king of diamonds and then play for East to have the ace-9 doubleton. So you get some sort of like cross-ruff / trump end play. Yeah, cross-ruff and guess the trump position. It doesn't seem... I assume he didn't have to guess because he touched around a trump himself. I didn't look. Because if the opponents could have pulled 2 rounds of trumps, they would have done so. But yeah. Well played over there to make 5 diamonds. Oh, he never touched trumps. Got you. Then yeah, he had a bit of guesswork to do. Alright, ace of hearts and a heart ruff, and this will just be down 1. This was going to be a great contract for East-West. And just getting to play 2 spades because North-South can make at least a part score in diamonds, if not a game. They made the game in the other room. So we might have missed some of the card play action from the other table, is what I'm hearing from Adam. We'll take a look back at the 7 diamonds hand as well as that 5 diamonds hand at the other table. Alright, pass by West. Zia gets to open a spade. Double by East, or double, probably, by East, maybe. We're favorable. Just a quiet set, 90 imps swung. Pass by Camel. 2 diamonds by Rosenberg. 2 spades? 3 spades by Zia? 2 spades, probably. I'll pass. I don't know. Is Zach gonna raise? Probably not. He only has 3 diamonds. Is that gonna double 2 spades again? Maybe. You have a good hand in the East, and you are favorable. He does double a second time. South decides to be quiet for now, biding his time. He might come back in. He does have 6 high card points with the doubleton spade in support. Looks to me like a 3 diamond bid from Rosenberg here. You got 6, but the queen doubleton of spades is probably not working. 5th diamond is nice. Why not bid 3 clubs instead of the second double? 3 clubs would show a really good hand. That would be like 17 or 18 high card points at a minimum and a good 6 card club suit. Ooh. Michael has decided to give his partner a lot of leeway with this second double. He bids 2 no. Looking for the minor. I feel like this is going to get our side to a lot of 4-3 club fits. Like if East is 2-4, 3-4, he would bid this way, right? Well, they got to 3 clubs. They've got 2 spades, a club, a diamond with the favorable diamond lie, and a heart to lose. Zia will need to put a heart through at some point before these diamonds get set up. But I think he has plenty of time. So spade to the jack. I mean, he might even just put a heart through now. He does. Heart to the king. Heart comes back. Yeah, and now Declare just has a spade, a club, and a diamond to lose from here. Yeah, now this queen of diamond switch makes things very easy. There might have been a world in which Declare, like, tried, I don't know, a low diamond to the 9 at some point. But I can't imagine him missing out on picking off the king-queen doubleton now. So club up with the queen to the king. Club return. Probably up with the ace, yeah. Alright, diamond to the 9. I like how Zach just ducks the 8 of diamonds. He knows. He had a count on North's shape. 8 tricks. So 3 clubs, 0s down 1. In the other room, 3 spades made 3 on the north-south cards. The heart finesse is working for Declare there. 3 imps to Rosenthal, who's back on top by 20. We got 1 more board to play in this set. And there looks like there's going to be some action on this one as well. Pass by Zia. 1 spade by East. 2 spades by South. Yeah, of course. I will jump on Discord. I think the channel Casual Games 1 is what I usually use. So yeah, you're welcome for the last set. Sounds good. Yeah, if you need to take off early or something, or you just want to hang for a few hands, all good. One spade, Camel decides to just overcall 2 hearts rather than bid 2 spades. Probably a little bit nervous, opposite a passed hand at this vulnerability, that he might get into some serious trouble if he found a misfit. 3 hearts by Rosenberg. Exactly 3 card limit raise. He would bid 2 no trump with 4. 3 spades by Zia? Show values? Probably. Good to get your 8-card suit off your chest. Count again. So 3 spades by Zia. Zach decides to just bid 4 spades rather than 4 diamonds on the way. So Michael has decided to be done. 4 spades is going to pass around to Zia. He decides to let it go. He knows they have a big heart fit, but also he's looking at these 2 natural trump tricks. And the 5 level is for the opponents usually. Well, what is Declarer's line of play? So we win the Ace of Hearts, but then what? Why bid 3 spades if we're not setting up a force? I don't know if you can set up a force as a passed hand here, for one thing. I'm also not convinced that this should set up a force generally, even as an unpassed hand, because it's not like the opponents have bid weakly. Like, West has showed potentially a good hand, 3 cards, but limit raise are better. East could still have a good hand here. Partners 2 hearts isn't, might just be like lead directional. I do wonder. I mean, so Michael, of course, hops up with the club ace. But now what? You can't play 3 rounds of spades because Declarer will win the 9 and then run the entire club suit. If you duck a spade, Declarer just gets to go... Well, ducking a spade doesn't make any sense on defense. Camel does return a club. Alright. Zach has quickly gotten off to a low spade. Zia ducks from ace-king third, but now a spade to the queen, and there's nothing more to the play. Ace of diamonds, diamond rough. Ooh, fast claim, but ace of diamonds, diamond rough, queen of clubs, pitch a diamond. If North had a stiff diamond and over-ruffed and pulled trumps, then you could go down. 620. Let's head to the other room and see what's happening. They're in 5 hearts doubled. So given that 4 spades made, this is going to be a cheap save. East-West have gotten a couple rounds of diamonds that they cashed, a club switch, but Declarer can pitch the club loser on the ace-king of spades before pulling trumps. So this looks like down 1 to me. So last board, good result for Rosenthal here. They're going to pick up a handful more. And we have, what, 35 minutes until the next set starts? Is that where we're at? 102 imps is the final count for this set. This is like taking me back to day 1 of the USA1 bracket, when every table in the first segment scored 100 imps. Alright, here's our scorecard for the segment. 71 to 31. Huge pickup for Rosenthal in this set, so they take the lead. Let's take a look back at some of these hands. 7 diamonds. So this auction started a diamond, 2 clubs, 2 spades, extras with shape or perfect pattern, 2 no, 3 no, 4 diamonds by South, 4 hearts Cupid, 4 spade Cupid, 4 no trump keycard, 5 diamonds, 3. 5 spades, asking for kings. Spade king. Yes. Yes, Chris, that's what you have. Spade king. 6 diamonds. 7 diamonds. Okay. And the opening lead was a trump, as is often the case against grands. So Genasar ended up winning the 7 of diamonds in the north hand, confirming that he was going down, because he didn't save it for a beer. Heart to the ace, heart to the king, heart ruffed, and now the 10 of diamonds to the ace, king of diamonds, queen of diamonds. So we've seen West turn up with 5 hearts because they pitched a few hearts. Spade to the ace, queen of spades, spade to the king. So we now have a full count on the east-west cards. That West started with 4 spades, West started with 5 hearts, West started with 1 diamond, and therefore West had 3 clubs. This is what Adam was talking about in the chat earlier. Therefore, it's 4-3 that East has the club king in the sending, just based on pure chance. So North decided to cash the last diamond, pulling off a squeeze, but then ended up taking the club finesse at the end. Yeah, Ankur says, beer doesn't count in a diamond contract. That is true in the US. These are our rules, but apparently internationally, beers just count regardless. Depending. Or so I've heard from some chat members. So that was a big swing. Yeah, the classic squeeze versus finesse at the end of the hand. We also were told 5 diamonds. We should take a look back at this line of play. So 2 diamonds multi by West. We did not open the south hand. 2 hearts by East, pass or correct. 2 spades. Now North bids 2 no trump. North would have made a takeout double if he was short spades, so this would be generally takeout of hearts. South bid 5 diamonds, bidding what he thought he could make, and it turns out he was right. Spade lead. Up with the ace. Heart to the ace. Heart ruff. Club to the king. Heart ruff. Low. King of spades. Ace of clubs. Good technique. Whenever we're cross-ruffing, try and cash all of our winners first. Spade ruff.
Thanks for the marathon coverage. Let us all participate in the event from our couch.
Hey, Andy. Thanks so much for the donation. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Yeah, you all are just adding to the marathon coverage now. We're now up to 13 days of commentary post USA1 trials. So we got more than halfway through the remainder of the month has been covered. All right, so we've gotten a spade ruffed. Now what does Chris end up doing? He leads the last heart and continues cross-ruffing. So what is his plan? If East were to overruff this trick and play back a club, we would know that West is down to, because of the 6-2 spade split, we know that West started with 6 spades. They started with 4 hearts. They followed to a couple of clubs, and we don't know about the diamonds situation. But we might expect that West has this exact shape, so West is down to 1 diamond. I guess Chris would have a decision to make on a club back. If East started with ace-king third of diamonds and West had the single to 9, Chris could make the contract. If it goes king of diamonds club. He would have to ruff with the 10 of diamonds to prevent losing a trick to the diamond 9, and then he would play low diamond out of hand towards the queen, and East would be down to like ace 6 doubleton at that point. And so there would be nothing that East could do to prevent Chris from scoring the last 2 tricks. He could win the diamond ace, but then the 7-4 of diamonds would be good enough to make it. But Mexstroth decides to discard on this trick. So now when a club gets roughed, Chris decided to play West for the singleton diamond honor. He roughs low, West over roughs, and now on a spade return, East trumps get pickled. So rough with the 6, over rough with the 7. Now the queen and 10 of diamonds force out the ace for 11 tricks. Cross roughs are powerful. Now, could West have done better if he was double dummy and led the stiff king of diamonds at trick 1? I mean, double dummy is going to tell us no, because Declare could just take a double roughing finesse and hearts. But Declare might have then crossed in spades and tried to run the queen of hearts. Didn't lead the singleton king of trumps. Time for an angry bridge winners post. Yeah. That has been happening a lot, hasn't it? What a back and forth set. We've had 2 pushes in this segment. We even had a pass out. What were some of these big swing results? So there was the 4 spades that went down. They got to 3-no in the other room. South just opened a no trump on his slightly off shape hand. 2 diamonds showing hearts, 2 hearts, 3-no, all pass. My friend called, said it was a good lead, but I'm too busy playing video games. Any thoughts? That was how the previous post read, wasn't it? Diamond to the king, diamond to the 10, and 3-no. Well done. Queen of spades. Just in case they cover this time. They didn't cover the jack of diamonds. They might cover the queen of spades. Alright. 12 imps to Rosenthal for that one. I think we saw most of the other results, so this board and 3 spades. Pretty much the same auction at the other table. A club, a heart overcall, 2 no trump, same 2 no trump, same 3 spade bid, but North did not double on their hand. Did we determine that 3 no trump is just cold? I mean, the diamonds lie favorably. Honor doubleton in the pocket, so you'll play a diamond to the jack and pick off the queen doubleton on side. You get 4 diamond tricks. You have 3 heart tricks. You have a club and a spade. At least. West might lead a spade. Papa Rosenberg getting lit up in 3 spades.
Enjoying the commentary.
Hey Fish, thanks so much for the $10 donation. Appreciate it. By his sometimes regular partner. Yeah. It's a shame they weren't in the same room so that they could talk about that one. I guess there was no way to put North and West in the same room. So overall, it is a 29 imp lead for Rosenthal after a 40 imp segment in their favor. Wowie. Doubling 3 spades into game makes the table more exciting. You're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong. How are we doing on time? So we still have 9 minutes left in the segment, and then there's the 15-minute break. It's going to be 25 minutes until the next set starts. Let's check in on the women's. We'll head over there. For whatever reason, I feel like the scores in the women's have been the same every time we've checked. And I don't think that this is the fault of Real Bridge having some issues. It is just that not too many imps have been scored. Oh, here we go. Baker's now up over 100. So Zhang is down in minus 24, and Lewis is down in minus 86. There's still a lot of separation between the 3 teams. Yeah, there's only 3 women's teams that entered into the event. But we can hang out here and watch a couple of these boards while... EPL, you're rooting for Lewis. It's always good to root for the underdog. There's only 12 female bridge players in the whole country. There's only 12 that were getting hired to play on teams. I think that whoever said it was right. There's probably just very few female sponsors in the US that would want to play in an all-women's event. I think I heard a quote a long time ago from a friend of mine who played in the Venice Cup. She was just like, there's just way too much estrogen in that room. And so I think that sometimes, even though women can get tired of men, like mansplaining things to them, they also sometimes get tired of being around only women all day. Matt says, do US teams just not play as amateurs regularly? I think it's pretty rare. Most of the really strong talent gets picked up by pro teams, and there's just this culture of being able to play professionally in the US. So I think there's just this culture of there's this expectation kind of the strong players will be playing professionally on some of these teams. I know that a lot of people don't want to play on teams if it's not for work. I definitely had that attitude a lot of the time when I played pro, that like I just didn't want to play if I wasn't being hired a lot of the time. But every once in a while we get some of these fun amateur teams showing up to play. And I think they've had a pretty good track record in general. That it seems like people are clearly missing the mark when they're hiring for pro teams. Because every time one of these fantastic foursomes gets put together, it seems like they always win. The result in the women's does feel a little bit scripted, I'll be honest. But we have seen some imps moving around over the course of today, so maybe there will be a bit of position jostling. I mean, Baker feels like they have a pretty secured first place position so far. They still have to finish out the movement, but they're looking pretty strong. Team Zhang should be a little bit worried. But I think if they're able to dominate against Lewis in their head-to-head match, it'll probably come out okay for them. This is a strong table. Look at what we walked in on. I didn't even realize. We got the Rimstead sisters, and we got Jenny Wolpert playing with Janice Molson. I think this is the last board of this segment. They're playing sevens over there. Things winding down on this last day. It does feel like a little bit empty in here to me. We can't go look at the duplicated results from the other tables in the Open. The women's event is a little bit hard to follow on Real Bridge. And people say Switzerland's importing players. I don't think anyone said Switzerland is importing players. It's just Team Zimmerman. The US has been stealing all of the best players from other countries for a while now. We're just slowly absorbing all of the bridge talent worldwide. Who said yesterday that we needed to make Poland the 53rd state? Yeah, Pepsi, Zia. We have successfully married off the Rimstedt sisters. We just need to get the brothers over here now. I think as long as we can offer a nice, like, coastal villa to Versace, we can get him to come over. Yeah, some of the Canadians have crossed the border. Team Fleischer seems unstoppable has been called. You're saying the Team Fleischer that has the Bassiste Lorenzini and the Versace Cementa. That iteration of Team Fleischer? Because Team Fleischer was very stoppable in this event. They in fact were stopped twice. First by Team Shori and then by Team Nickel. Both of whom have already been knocked out. Yesterday, in fact. So there was like a hierarchy. Like Shori and Nickel both beat Team Fleischer and ended up making it to the top, top 5 or something, and then got knocked out. Yes, European Fleischer. This table? This table's in play. How much time do we have? Let me head back out. Are we in for this last segment? No? No, still another 15 minutes. We'll be back in a bit. Wait. Wait, hold on. Wait, everyone slow down. We just came from a table where Sandra and Cecilia were playing against Jenny and who was South? Janice, right? And now all of us, I just went to, wait a second. Wait, no, hold on. They were just here. And now suddenly they're here. Okay, well, I thought we were going to catch them being in 2 places at once. There's so few entrants, they just had to have them sitting and... They're just the entire team. It is Sandra and Cecilia at both tables. They've been requested that they ignore the unauthorized information they have about their opponent's hands in both rooms. So this is what, like Jones cold for 6-no, north-south? I don't actually know. Looks like maybe we are short entries. Yeah, looks like maybe we're short entries. Well, we've just made this hand very awkward for ourselves. It is time to cash out. No over tricks for us today, or no extra over tricks. 4 spades, 3 hearts, 2 diamonds, and 2 clubs. Oh no, I was right the first time. We are just Jones cold for 6 now. Yeah, you could set up the clubs or the diamonds. So 3/8 the way down. Rosenthal currently getting the better of Wolfson, but lots of imps that have been scored. It's been a long day. I feel like I've been saying that at the end of stream every day, but it has been a long day. Pass, pass, 2 spades. Double. 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 There we go. We got the double. 3 spades by North. Come on, one time. Okay, North passes. I don't know. Do we 2-no trump or do we 3 diamonds? Hard to say. 2-no trump. And Jill says, my hand is terrible. 2-no Lebensal. So the question is, do we bid 3-no here with the West hand now that it's probably right-sided? Or do we bid 3 hearts, which was probably our plan all along? I don't mind either bid. I think they're both fine. 3 hearts is probably the normal choice, but Carrie bids 3 hearts. So 3-0 from Jill. Makes sense. And they get there after all. Is this going to make... 3 diamonds, 2 clubs, 2 spades, and a heart. Sounds like 8 to me. You probably have time to set up the heart suit. Yeah, what do we lead as south? A club or a spade? I guess I would be tempted by a club. The spades are missing a lot of cards, and this doesn't feel like an auction where we are actually going to successfully set up spade tricks. So how do we play this? Up with the ace of spades, low heart towards the 10. Spade doesn't give up anything. That is accurate, yes. It does not work to set up our side's tricks, but you are correct that it does not give up anything. I kind of like ace of spades, heart to the 10. Yeah, I mean, declare could have king jack third, of course. That is a danger in leading spade. I mean, another danger is a hand like this, where we need to be setting up tricks our way, like partner's club suit, and a spade lead just gives declare all of the time she needs. I mean, it looks like we still have plenty of time to switch to clubs, given that declare needs to knock out the jack of hearts, ace of hearts, and king of diamonds. You could also try a low diamond. 6 or 2 of clubs. My preference for leads against no trump would be second and fourth. So I like leading second from 3 cards to an honor. I would lead high from 3 small. You never lead a doubleton because doubleton leads are awful. I've actually led a doubleton against 3-0 once. I think the opponents had an auction that was like a no trump, transfer, accept, 2-0, 3-0, and I had 5 cards in the major. I was 5-3, 3-2 with jack fifth in the opponent's major and out, and so I chose my doubleton instead of either of my 3 smalls to lead. It worked out beautifully, by the way. We beat 3 no trump, and everyone else in the room was in like 3 no trump making 4. Did it work? There you go. Always lead doubletons. So maybe it didn't work because everyone else in the room clearly disagreed with my opening lead choice. Always lead doubletons against no trump. Make sure you get your roughs. We got 5 minutes to go in the other match. What did declare do? Ace of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. Huh. Yeah, this play is a little suspect because now the opponents can set up a long diamond trick. But I guess that's okay. Like, we could just pitch a club here. Or a heart, I guess it doesn't matter. Run the 10 of hearts. So north-south are going to get 2 hearts and a diamond from this position, but that's it. Yeah, they did go down 2 in the other room. It was declared from the other side. So I wonder if north got off to a club lead. I don't know. That would be a pretty weird lead. I don't know what the auction was. We can't see the auction from the other table. We can't even get to the other table. So I couldn't tell you. I have no idea how they went down 2 and 3 no trump over there. Can't we just click on scores? This one. There. Okay, I found it. Pass, 2 diamonds, multi. Double. 13 to 15 balanced or big hand. 2 spades, pass or cracked. Pass, 2 no, 19 plus, 3 no by East. They get the Jack of Spades lead. Ducked. Strange. Now a club switch, but now north-south is in control. Yeah, Declare did try a heart to the 10. I mean, I kind of like this play with the preempt in south. But this is going to be a disaster for Declare. Now north just gets in and starts cashing tricks. Ace of spades, king of hearts, north wins, cashes the 9 of clubs, then exits a heart and west is end played. Did they think it was a doubleton spade? I mean, it seems like it. You know, south is in 3rd seat. Sometimes they preempt a 5-card suit, even though I guess they're favorable. Alright, how do I get back? Oh, I figured it out. We're back. Declare has made 3 no trump in this room. So Zhang picks up 13 imps against Lewis. That's what they need to do. Let's head back to the other table. Here, I will refresh. We'll see which table Adam wants to watch. I mean, we could watch Chris just go on full tilt. That's always exciting. There are a lot of Michaels. Have I ever played with Chris? No, I have not. I've actually only played 4 boards in my life against him. Once was when he was playing with Rosenberg, and once was when he was playing with a client. I've talked a lot of bridge with Chris because I'm pretty good friends with his wife, Dana Berkowitz. But we have never played together. All right, I guess we'll stick in this room since we were just at the other table. I did play a decent amount with Dana. We have been runner-up twice in NABCs on the same team together. And I promised her one day we would win the mixed pairs. So I know I have to come through on that promise. But sometime in the future, Dana, we'll make it happen. Pass a diamond from David. I mean, look, that seems to me like a no trump in third seat. Doesn't seem like a no trump to everyone else. 2 club overcall. 2 hearts by Wilankin. Pass by Berkowitz. North decides to just bid 3 clubs. This looks like it's going to pass out.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Adam. Welcome.
Thank you. I stuck in. How are you?
Glad to have you here. I'm doing great. We've been here for the entirety of the event, which has been a lot of fun to watch.
I'm sure. It's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys definitely had a lot of fun. We got to cover
Certainly
some of your matches.
But yes. So I enjoyed the coverage. I went and watched a couple boards at least. There were a few fun ones where I did something and you guys were trying to figure out why, and there was something either at the table or some other reason, whatever. I think there was one 2 diamond hand that I thought was very interesting. Right? You guys were like, is he going to play this or that? And I played a third thing.
Nah. It's always fun to try and guess, and I think a lot of the time it's sometimes easier when you're at the table because you're just focused on your hand. You don't have to, I'm looking at all 4 players, and sometimes that makes it difficult for me to get into the mind of just the one. So yeah, you get to be laser focused on this is my problem, here are the things I'm considering. You sometimes get a read on the people at the table, but yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. So this looked like a fairly quiet 3 clubs.
It does. So I don't know if you saw West's hand, but pass in third seat, not vulnerable. Ace, king, queen, 5th of diamonds, you open a no trump. I mean, it was a 13 count.
I might not. I mean, I think opening a no trump can work, but there's nothing wrong with opening a diamond, making sure you get your diamond lead, and you're not that likely to be making a game when partner's a white passed hand.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one no is a little more preemptive, but you're 3-3 in the majors. It's fine. You can open a diamond, get your, there's nothing wrong with that, and opening a no trump will often get your side too high.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, I know that there's several people at these tables who probably would open it a no trump.
South.
Well, it doesn't have any small singletons, so.
Is that a requirement or a deterrent?
I don't know if it's a requirement. It's a suggestion.
Gotcha. But yeah, as you say, quiet 3 clubs. Can just knock out the spade ace. Don't have to mess with the heart suit. Ooh. 7-4, bid 1 more. So 3 hearts by West.
Well, I think it's favorable too. I think 4 hearts has a lot going for it if you move the king of spades into clubs.
Yeah.
But and there's still some people who would open 4 hearts even with this hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I think here 3 is reasonable because if you get caught in 4 hearts, it's you're not going to take that many tricks, and the king of spades is really only useful on defense.
Yep.
Right. So it's hard for them to catch you in 4 hearts, but it's not impossible. And the actual hand here is a good illustration of perhaps why four hearts might have worked a little better here, right? Because North might kind of be forced to double, and South will bid four spades, and you're pretty happy defending four spades on at least as the cards lie.
Yeah, East would be very happy defending four spades. West maybe not so much, yes. But it would work out.
I mean, I have stiff king of spades. I might not have.
Yeah.
But I mean, here everything is horrible for declarer. So, it's going to be they did well to go low, right? Perhaps the four bad spades was sort of a warning sign for him, and this is not going to do so hot.
No, so ducks the opening diamond lead. That's going to go around to the 10. I mean, Mextroth could get queued and try and win the king or something. But no, he sticks in the 10.
There's no reason. I mean, partner led what looks to be a stiff diamond. Maybe they have three, but, one way or the other, there's not really... he's looking at good trumps and, a likely beat. There's not much reason to be queued here.
Yep. King of Hearts switch. Well, declare is mirrored, which is not going to make him very happy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Zia chose to pass over three hearts with the north hand in the other room. I think it's actually, it's far from crazy when partner's a passed hand, right? And perhaps that's, the counter to my argument about four hearts is if Z is passing over three, then he's certainly passing over four, right? And when you're facing a passed partner vulnerable, it's a little bit less attractive to stretch and come in, because if you're wrong, you're still going to get punished. Whereas when partner is not a passed hand, there's more hands where you're making a game or even a slam that there's some pressure to act.
Yeah, that is all true.
So, I mean, here Chris is going to probably, he doesn't have a lot of hope, but we'll probably start with the spade, the king and ace, and see what happens. And once maybe he'll try a low spade off dummy then. But one way or the other, it's going to be kind of ugly.
Yeah, I can tell you're also struggling to find a way to take tricks as declare here. I'm a little surprised he didn't duck the king of hearts. This looks like it's probably going to be useful to cut communication.
Well, this hand is actually quite elegant because both north, east, and south are 4-2, 4-3. And so even though north and south are mirrored, east is also mirrored with them.
Yeah. Which is very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you say, spade to the ace, low spade. Of course, if we had cut communications and hearts, then we could... oh, well, this is not going to go the way he wants.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not sold on the nine of spades here. I guess he's maybe hoping to catch West with queen, with honor 10 third, and sort of asleep at the switch. But I have a call. 1 second.
Yeah, I think. I think there were lies of the cards where declare could make this. Maybe none that are consistent with the auction. But if West had like honor 10 doubleton of spades, we could pick up the spades for one loser. The hearts are just one loser, and if diamonds happen to be 3-2, which East could have started with like queen 10 doubleton or king 10 doubleton and win the 10, or if we can end play East and diamonds, we might have been able to make this thing. Well, 3 rounds of clubs. Why eliminate one club? I don't think he was eliminating club. I think he was trying to get a count in the club suit. sometimes declarers will, early in the play, like lead a suit that they have all of the ace, king, queen of to try and get their opponents to give them a signal, a count signal usually. So I suspect that's what Chris was doing. Alright, looks like down 2. Up with the diamond king, exit a diamond. So Mextroth only got end played once on the hand.
He wins the end play competition.
Yeah. Seven imps to Wolfson. As Adam pointed out, Zia did well to pass 3 hearts in the other room. Just the flat 14 count over there in the north seat. Alright. Couple passes go around to Mextroth. This is a hand I would not want to open a no trump in third seat. This hand is gross. Ugly and gross. So one club. Chris passes. So it looks like East-West are going to have a free ride. 1 heart, 2 hearts. What are we thinking as West? Do we make a game try? You got the 5th trump.
I mean, I have a 5th trump, and partner is not going to be straining to open a no trump, red and white in the 3rd chair. I'm kind of okay with at least fishing around a bit for game. I'd like to have ace 3rd of clubs instead of ace 3rd of diamonds. Just in case partner has a little bit more real clubs. But I'm red at imps, and I have a pretty good passed hand. I think I move. It's worth noting that Zach in the other room did in fact choose to open a no trump in 3rd with this pile of trash. And he has some spots, and it is positional. So it is a positional hand. So I as ugly as it may be with no aces, you do kind of want the lead coming into you. And if you're not playing a short club with transfers or something,
right?
Then if you open a minor and partner bids something, they might be playing it, and you kind of know that's not great for you.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
At least sympathize.
Yeah.
And it went 1 no, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 no, and Zach chose to pass 3 no even. Right. Again, because no aces is going to mean that taking 10 tricks will be tricky, and hoping that they lead poorly and that having the lead come around to him will be helpful for him. And so here, we see. It's a little bit accidental, perhaps, but West makes a game try with 2 no, East bids 3 no. But now they're playing no trump from the other side, and the lead is coming through all the kings and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So, it's not it's unclear if that'll cost here, right? Spades theoretically could, there's no real danger from either side. But, you'd definitely rather be declarer here.
That is absolutely true. You would like to get to...
Especially when...
Probably 3 no. I think 3 no is better than 4 hearts on these cards.
Yeah. I have 7 winners off the top, and they are going to be on lead and probably have to give me an 8th at some point. And maybe I can scramble home a club trick, or something else good happens for 9. In fact, in the other room, Mike Camel led a diamond, understandably, against 3 no. And so, that made things much, much easier.
Yeah, this table, if North gets off to a spade lead, I don't know if you should, but if North does, then Declare is going to have to guess the club suit.
Yeah, yeah. Which is, I mean, that's kind of what you would. I mean, that's certainly what I would lead from North, and it's kind of what you expect to be going on here.
I mean, I guess the alternative is to just lead a heart from North.
Yeah, but I mean, I have an ace, and so if I catch partner with something in spades, right, I'm getting pretty close to beating this. Club lead is I guess the alternative, but I guess the argument for a club lead perhaps is that partner couldn't bid on the one level, and if they certainly don't have five spades that are decent,
Right.
but they could have five clubs. It's plausible.
West would not be passing with a stiff club.
Right, exactly. So it's more like, okay, we're going to lead through dummy strength maybe, but here now Chris has a real shot to shift if he is fully awake, in the sense that he can see the partner led the two of clubs, so they got four of them. So how are we beating this? Right, Declare's got presumably 4 or 5 heart tricks, some diamond tricks. Maybe we do actually just need partner to have like ace third or ace fourth of spades, and we're good to go. But at this point, it looks like Declare is going to have no trouble taking 9 at least.
Yeah, the club's split. So as you say, a club back is going to set up 4 defensive tricks when partner has the spade ace, but we just don't get the 5th in time. Ace third of spades would have in fact been enough, because ace spade, low spade to the ace, spade back. If Declare hops up, now there's communication in spades, and if Declare ducks, we can win and then switch back to clubs.
Right, exactly, and at some point we'll have taken 2 clubs, 2 spades, and hopefully get a trick on power.
Yeah.
And here, in fact, it would actually be enough as well, right? Declare just doesn't have 9 tricks if we put a spade on the table at trick 2.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think he should shift one way or the other. But the question is, shift to what? The argument for spades is that he at least has enough enough in diamonds that he can be pretty certain that if partner is the one with the ace of spades, we're in good shape, versus if partner is the one with the ace of diamonds, Declarer might still be able to just get spades right and have 9.
Right. Yeah, well, Declare is going to cash a few hearts, and then he's going to have nothing better to do than lob a spade up towards the king.
Yep.
But still, Zach does better in the other room. He induces that small diamond lead from Queen 5th, or Queen Jack 5th, picking off an extra diamond trick, and then does in fact guess basically every suit correctly to make his 10 tricks over there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's earned, right? That you do really want the lead coming into this hand, and stretching to open a no trump here has some merit, and he was rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Perhaps not as much as he could have been, but still good to cover. Good to cover one of your teammates, maybe at least small negative positions.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Chris and Eldad can't feel great about the opponents making 3-0 on this hand, but win 1 is nice.
Talk about exhaustion in this event, though. So you guys played 8 days straight. You never had a sit out. So you were playing 60 boards a day for 8 days in a row. These guys have been playing.
We did manage to earn ourselves a couple sit outs.
Yeah, okay. You earned a couple in the 8th segment, yes.
Those actually mattered. Like, being able to sleep at least a little bit, or at least rest in the eighth quarter was a nice luxury.
Yeah, that's
Especially in the semifinal match, like because it is an absolute grueling marathon.
Mm-hmm. But so these guys, this is day 11 for them. Most of them have been playing 45 boards a day. Is it just like more and more tiring as you play more days, or is getting that like one segment fully off where you're either sleeping in the morning or taking out the second segment, is that enough to get you going through the rest of the event?
I mean, nothing is ever enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really, the tiredness definitely builds up over time, and I think it's definitely you'd like to. Sorry, I'm looking at an alert from the other room on a future board where Zach Alert says 1-0 as this is more like 14 to 16, but officially 14.3 to 17.2. And he has none of those things, so it doesn't really matter. But I mean, I think having a set off is always helpful, but it's tiring, and over time that really adds up, and so I think by even by day 8, if you were sitting out some, you're going to be a little less sharp than you were day 1 or day 2, and certainly by day 11 or 12 you've got to be feeling it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a tough event. Don't worry, the Bermuda Bowl will be easier. You only have to play 48 boards a day.
Yes, but for 12 days.
Yeah. All right, Genasar gets a heart opener. We got 2 hearts from Wolenkin. All pass.
Most likely. I mean, Eldad might throw in a blocking 3 hearts, but it feels like they're not, it feels like we're okay if they did. We have a little defense, and if partner isn't really gung-ho to compete, we're fine to play 2.
Yeah, so a couple top diamonds. Oh, Mexstroth leads a spade.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to make now.
Yeah, it had 6 top losers, past 10.
Huh. Ace from Ace King is a good lead.
Sometimes. I mean, I get why. It's pretty brutal that this is the actual layout of the hand, right? Where we actually need to rip 5 winners right now, right? It's rare against a partial like this that there's such an urgency to cash our, all of our winners before they go away on some side sit, right?
That's true. Yeah.
It's far more likely that by not leading it, maybe Declarer will misguess diamonds later or have a decision and be like, oh, they would have led, an ace from Ace King if they had it, so therefore they don't. And there's all sorts of good things that can happen from that.
Yeah, it's a good point. Maybe against 3 hearts, if there was a 3-heart bid in the north, now it's more likely that losers can go away. So you just gotta lead ace from Ace King there. But
right. I mean, here there's just really not that much of an indication that this is, anything where we need to really be cashing out. So, I mean, you might lead the ace just so that you can decide, you choose which black suit to shift to. And go for it. But,
now, now we're just giving up extra tricks. It's okay. The contract's already made, Jeff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, I guess it mattered. Yeah, I guess it did matter in imp.
Yeah, 1 imp.
But all right.
We'll just say that Genasar played it 4 tricks better than the Declarer in the other room. 3 tricks better? 3 tricks better.
Yeah, so this was Zach's 14.2 to 14.3 to 17.2 one no trump opening in the other room. And looking at the hand, unless I fail at counting, it looks like none of those at all. So, feels like Jeff might choose a diamond, as he did.
Yeah, a diamond opening bid. Zach's just having a good time. Well, Lincoln overcalls a heart, so a different start to the auction than at the other table. Two hearts. Gross. Probably. Like 3 diamonds mixed or something. Berkowitz tries 2 diamonds. I guess that's gonna buy it. The other table made 150 in no trump. Inverted? No, this is not inverted. This is just like a weak raise. And it's a pretty bad hand, but it does fit reasonably well with Easts. Jack of Spades falls. Diamonds are 3-2. There's just nothing North-South can do against 3 no trump. North only has 1 entry. Otherwise, 2 rounds of hearts could come through. If South sets up the Jack of Hearts and dummy, then Declare just has 9 tricks, 3 diamonds, 4 spades, and 2 hearts. Otherwise, Declare can knock out the Ace-King of clubs. Well, that's one way to get a club trick. Club around to the Jack. I mean, I assume Declare is still just gonna, like, pull trumps. Diamond to the king. Diamond back. Third round of diamonds. Club. Is North gonna pop ace? Ace of clubs? I mean, North has to know now that the club lead is not a doubleton. His partner would have continued a club and gotten his club ruff. What are we thinking about? Ace of clubs, heart. Ace of clubs, heart. Ace of clubs and a heart. Up with the ace of clubs. Switch to partner's heart suit. You can do it. Okay, second question doesn't matter. Let's say we duck this trick. South wins the king. The ace of clubs drops. The spades split. So it does matter, right? Declare would be making 11 tricks and diamonds if we duck this trick. Like, there's technically some sort of squeeze position that can be reached, but we can't actually, there's no entries. So, like, if we go up with the ace of clubs and play a heart throw, yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Gino's busy doing Gino things. Are we frozen? Nope. Not frozen. For the third over trick, Mexstroth is putting his opponents to the test. Now, I wonder... So, Mexstroth would just be making up... What? Why? Oh... Oh, that is unbelievable. All right, well, 150 push, deserved in both rooms.
I mean, he might have been worried that partner had King Doubleton of clubs.
And led the 7 from King Doubleton?
I've seen Stranger Things.
That's...
It is strange.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I missed the beginning of the hand, so I actually didn't realize you led a club when I said that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
I was like, okay, I'll say something that sounds somewhat reasonable, and then I find out this information. Like, oh, well, then I said something really stupid. Cool.
Listen. I too have watched the TV show Stranger Things. I know people like to bring it up in situations like this, just as like a conversation changer to move on to a different topic when we can't explain something. So yeah, I'm on board. I get it.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean here, like, it's not even clear. I guess he might have still been able to. No, I guess he can't do it. Never mind. So yeah, this will be lots of agony, but eventually Jeff will put them out of their misery and take the rest of the tricks.
Yeah, he just doesn't know the 10 of spades is good, otherwise he would be claiming, probably.
This is true.
Club comes back. just in case North didn't feel bad enough already. I mean, he might play a spade to the 10. Like, honestly. South is marked after the Queen of Clubs cashes. South is marked with a Doubleton spade. Wait, that's not actually true. South has overcalled a heart. South is marked with a singleton spade. Wait, but South didn't lead a spade at trick one? Okay, this hand has gotten confusing for Declare. Maybe Mexstroth will work it out. North has to pitch a heart on this trick. Good. I mean, I guess they didn't, but... I think this is going spade to the 10. Maybe? Yeah, there it is. Alright, the trick came back. Well, 10 tricks. Zach earns his imp. 1 imp to Rosenthal. Alright, pass by Wilenkin. I don't know if Berkowitz opens these hands. I think he probably should. So we'll say a diamond. 2 club game force from Mexstroth. Two hearts. 2 no from Mexstroth. Probably just get to 3 no from the east. And there are not too many losers, especially after a spade lead comes through. Looks like you're going to lose a trick in each black suit. Same 11 tricks that were taken in the other room.
Yeah, I'm using this opportunity to eat my dinner.
Oh, no worries. Take your time.
But, thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a, normal-ish, whatever. I don't love to know, but maybe Burke is kind of stuck for a bit here, depending on how they play 2 major.
Yeah.
In a lot of my partnerships, I play that 2 major is exactly 4-4 or sometimes 6-4, and everything else rebits 2 diamonds if you have 5 diamonds. And that's kind of helpful because it means that you don't wind up wrong siding 3-0 sometimes when you have something like this where if partner has queen in 1 heart instead of king in 1 heart. It's kind of the end of the world that you've played no trump from this side because now they can put a heart through and you might not even have 9 tricks on a bad day.
Yeah, or king doubleton of spades. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like there's so many hands. Ace jack doubleton of spades.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many hands where just playing no trump from the west side is really bad. And so I think, I'm not eager to bid 2-0 with the west hand if I can help it at all. I mean, even if something else is conventional, I might make up something just so I don't have to grab the no trump.
Yeah, I am with you on that. So, well, a diamond lead comes around, so Declare is going to knock out the club ace, but at this point he's probably not going to be able to also knock out the spade trick, looking like maybe 10 tricks now.
Call it the 1 imp of justice.
Yeah, the 2 no trump bid deserves to be punished, and this was the best that we could do. 1 imp.
Exactly. We have to do something, so at least 1 imp seems fair.
It is fair. Well, North is still not convinced that his partner has given him a useful signal, so he's continued to duck all of these clubs. But now he has to win and find a switch. They are playing reverse Smith, so all the way back on this second round of clubs, the 5 of spades was discarded from South. Then the 6 of hearts, and now the 4 of spades. So that would technically say don't like diamonds, if that's how they're terming it. But North has continued to diamond anyway. I think South's opening diamond card was also encouraging, so there's a little bit of that that's going on as well. That South's play to trick 1 was an encouraging 2 of diamonds, and then he did give a Smith signal. The 5 of spades was a little bit murky to North, but then the 4 of spades confirmed that it was not necessarily encouraging in diamonds. But North does continue diamonds. So 1 imp to Rosenthal. Justice has been served. East West got to 4 spades in the other room on this one.
Yeah, they had a nice auction. Michael got to the 2-0 puppet. I don't know if they actually play the 5-3 gadget and puppet or not, but Michael unsurprisingly didn't open the West hands, so Zach opened a no trump in third, and 1-0, 2-0 puppet. Finn and I actually play that over 3 clubs showing no 5-card major. We could actually bid 3 diamonds with 5-3 in the majors. And show our this way we can get back to 5-3 fifths sometimes, which is really nice. And so we have a way to we would also bid 2-0 puppet with the West hand. But if you don't have that, then it's more of a maybe challenging question of, hey, are you really are you willing to play 3-0 all of the time when partner doesn't have 4 hearts?
Mm-hmm.
And your hearts are terrible enough that probably it's in this case it's true, but you even if you move the king of clubs into the heart suit, we could bid 2-0 puppet and not have to worry. Whereas somebody else might potentially wind up in 3-0 with a club problem instead of their nice 5-3 major suit fit. And here, of course, Mech is bypassing spades because he just wants to show hearts and a game force, and so they'll have completely missed their spade fit entirely. And I mean, Slam isn't that far from being, okay. You're basically the queen of diamonds away from, wanting to play Slam here. But, here, maybe the diamond, you just don't have time.
Right.
And, 4-1 hearts as well should make things pretty limited.
Yeah, so it looks like they have settled into 4 hearts. Mexstroth tried to make a pretty serious slam try with his 3-heart bid, but David said, worst of the worst, 4 hearts, not even making a non-serious move.
Yep, 4 hearts is the I'm sorry I opened the bidding bid.
Yeah.
And I normally play the denies 2 key cards and the queen of trumps even, right? Just so that if that's a useful thing for partner, they can know that, and it's the bad one.
Proceed with caution at your own risk. Yeah,
precisely. And with 8/5 of hearts, I think he has
it. I agree. Yep, he has 1 key card. Some pretty bad trumps, and he's going to do quite all right here. Ace-10, 4th of hearts offside, so he's got 2 heart losers, and they should have plenty of time to set up a diamond trick north-south. I suppose against 4 spades in the east at the other table, they must have let a diamond at trick 1, declare ducked, then heart to the ace, heart ruff, and then declare had the rest. So this looks like it's going to be a push. There's the diamond switch. We have seen some of these cool puppet-esque gadgets being used by a number of pairs in this event, so thank you, Adam. You don't have to unmute to tell me more about it if you're eating, but thank you for walking us through some of your system with Finn, because I know that Puppet has not always been the most popular system over 2 no-trump openers, over no-trump openers in general.
I think over a 1 no-trump opener, it's incredibly useful.
Yeah, 1 no, 2 no.
The big thing is, well, if you play a 1 no 3 clubs as Puppet, then you give them a lead director.
You do,
and so a lot of the time, and they have an inference when they don't double 3 clubs also that hey, maybe partner isn't stacked in clubs, and so when you. It's so much better to play 1 no 2 no as Puppet that that's pretty quickly become sort of expert standard, and I think it's really it's, I guess, a testament to how useful it is in many ways. And people have different variations of what alternative hands they put in there, because over 2-0, partner can bid 3 clubs to say I don't have a 5-card major, and so you have a few extra bids, and it's just up to you how you want to decide. Now, meanwhile, this hand I'll spoil a little bit. In the other room, they had yet another key card adventure and are playing in 5-no trump in the other room, which is an interesting spot that I think will scramble home with 11 tricks exactly. But last making, well, it's almost the last making spot. I don't think Camel knew that Zia had a spade void, and so he found out he was off 2 aces and said, "Uh-oh, we better pass." Here, we'll see what methods they have for the 4-5-5 minors hand. It's becoming increasingly common to sort of shaft some of the 5-5 minors hands just on frequency and prioritize a lot of the 5-4 minors hands and things in this auction, and just the 1-suiters, to where for Camel and Zia, 4 spades for them showed equal. It was a serious slam try with equal or better diamonds, and there's just there's not enough room to get shortness and suit quality and all these things you might want here. So you do have to trade off something.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of room in these auctions to show every type of hand.
Yeah. So there we see other room 5-no for 660. Always a fun result.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Finn and I here, we have 3 spades is like club stamen for us, basically. So we put the diamond hand, the single suited diamonds, in 2-no 4 clubs directly, which allows us to, at least as opener, be able to choose between 3-no and 4 clubs over 3 spades. But it's a very crowded auction, and looks like Eldon is not even sure exactly what they're playing here. So there's uncertain, I think, shortness. So, but shortness could be a singleton, which again means that if they do wind up keycarding in any form, they're going to stop in 5. Try to stop in 5-no if they can. But
yeah, that is what happened in the other room.
Yeah, this is a really ugly hand and really ugly auction for anyone who plays standard, right? 2-no is a slam killer in many ways. Perhaps he'll pass out 4 spades, the chat suggests. And he's not Zia or Camel, so I think lower chance of that.
Yeah, wrong partnership. Right idea, wrong partnership.
And Welenkin, probably hearing short spades, is not too thrilled looking at King Queen 5th, even though he has good fits in the minors. He's, I think, gonna 4-no is probably go away, and Eldad probably will listen. But
yeah, oh my god! Well. He just alerts it as question mark.
Yeah, it is a very strong hand opposite a 2-no opener. It's just, it really depends. Here, to be fair to Eldad, right, he's catching a pretty bad hand opposite, right? He's catching King Queen of Spades wasted, and King Queen. He's catching King Queen 5th of Spades wasted here, and slam is still pretty good, right?
Okay, but that's because partner has no jacks and all of these fitting minor suit honors. Yeah, I hear you. King Queen 5th of Spades is pretty bad, but didn't we know that when partner bid 3-no 4-no?
Well, we didn't know that when partner bid 3-no, right?
Yeah.
And when partner bid 4-no, we know that they have some stuff in spades.
Yeah.
But it's unclear how much.
That's true.
So I think maybe slam is on a hook or something.
Yep.
But maybe partner has a doubleton in one of the minors, and that's good for us. I don't know. I sympathize with bidding on.
Yeah, for sure.
And here it's a big winner, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be pretty easy to make 6 clubs on this lay of the cards. So, is there any way we can be careful? Probably
Claim before we misclick.
not. Yeah, yeah. Let's not misclick, but I guess there's probably nothing we can do to be careful. I mean, we can cash 2 clubs and then cash 2 diamonds. But that's it. So small protection against 4-1 diamonds offside. I guess, though, now we go down if diamonds are 4-1 on. No, maybe we just shouldn't do this.
No, you're right. If in other cases, sometimes it's good to try to cash your side suit. But here, where you have the 10 of diamonds still,
yeah,
you have some extra life to where you don't want to be going off when this was just a baby hand. You're only getting half of the 4 ones.
Yeah.
It looks like he's he is going to take his extra chance of ace doubles and of spades.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll ruff a spade. Club to hand, ruff a spade, and not seeing the ace of spades, he will then play on that.
Yeah.
Right. So he's taking his extra chance, which is good. Here, of course, it was a moot point.
All right. Diamonds do come home. So 12 tricks. George Brad asked, do the tablets have a mouse attached, or is it just touchscreen? I think it's just touchscreen.
No. In past years, they had a shortage of mouses, and you had to fight for your mice. But this year, every tablet had a mouse, and so you had an option of using a mouse or a stylus or just the touchscreen, whatever else. All the tablets allow you to select whatever delay in each card you play and each bid you make. So, it's not like you just tap a bid and off it goes. You tap a bid and there's like you can toggle a 1 to 5 second timer where you can cancel that bid before it goes through. So it is actually pretty hard to do misclicks unless you make the bid and you just kind of absentmindedly click the, confirm. Which it happens, right? I didn't misclick at all this week, but I understand people who might have. And for cards, you can set it so that you basically drag the card to the center of the table, meaning that until you release your mouse, once it's been dragged to the center of the table, the card isn't played. And so Chris is trying a light Drury here, which is very much, I guess, a modern trend as well. That Drury has become not just a limit raise, but often includes some of the constructive raises as well. Just because we get to stay lower, and partner can bid 2 diamonds to say I have not the worst hand, and you can bid 2 hearts to say, hey, I had a good constructive type hand.
Mm-hmm.
So there's room to sort it out, and you might as well stay lower on more hands.
Yeah, that's a nice little addition to the system.
Mm-hmm.
Berkowitz is balanced with a double over 2 hearts finally on his 4x1.
Yeah, probably they play double of 2 clubs as lead directing, and so this is his first opportunity to do so, pretty much.
So Mexstroth can bid 2-no, I guess, if he wants. Redouble. Oh boy. And North does have a maximum for his minimum.
I like redouble. I mean, it's sort of harmless, and considering that it is a maximum, right? He has a real opening bid. and the opponents are red, we're white. If they mess up, we want to be able to get them.
Oh yeah.
And I mean here, it's important, of course, to have an agreement about what pass of this redouble means. Right? Is it to play in two hearts redouble, or is it run?
Yes, it is important to have an agreement about passes of redoubles. There have been so many imps swung in this event on those decisions.
Yes, yes. And I mean, here, Jeff really would like to be able to pass and say, I have no preference,
Yeah.
right? Because it's possible Berkowitz has 5 spades. It's possible he has a 5-card minor, whatever it is. And as on the actual hand, perhaps Berkowitz would come back with 2 spades. And, that's probably their best place to play. 3 diamonds is fine, of course, as well. But
All right, Jeff has passed. Well, here we go. How do you feel, David?
I mean, Berkowitz would like to redouble. Right?
Yes.
To say, hey, I have no preference also.
This isn't backgammon.
Right. Exactly. So 2 spades is practical. I mean, depending on how he can kind of expect that partner has 3 spades and probably 3 or 4 hearts, and Mech might have the same hand with one of those diamonds in the heart suit is the problem. So Berkowitz can't really bid 2-0, even though they might have a 4-card minor suit fit, because they might just not, or an 8-card minor suit fit, because they just might not have an 8-card fit. Right. So he's kind of settling for 2 spades here.
Yep. Looks like a reasonable decision. Alright. We win the club at trick 1, and now what's the plan? If we try and pull trumps, the opponents can knock out the heart ace. I mean, they could just get a club rough, but... If we don't pull trumps, the opponents are going to start roughing things like both minor suits, which is not good for us.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like, especially because they didn't start hearts, it gives us a little leeway to at least play 1 round of trumps and get that going.
Yeah.
And make them commit a little bit. And here again, they're not shifting just yet, which means that we probably still have time to play another round of trumps even.
Yep.
Right, and it's only when the opponents start knocking out the ace of hearts that we have to shift to being like, hey, wait a minute, let's get some side suit winners.
Yeah. So they do get their club rough, and now heart to the ace. That pesky 9 of spades from south.
It's not so bad. I mean, we don't know where it is, right? North might have it, but we got to play diamonds while we're in the dummy.
Yeah.
And now they're going to tap us,
yep.
Which is annoying. But
All right, king of clubs,
now we just
pitch
have
of
to guess
hearts.
diamonds. Yeah,
This doesn't really help us, but I mean, it at least scares the opponents, because now even if we guess the diamonds, South can just give us a rough slough, and then he'll get his 9 of spades.
Right. I mean, we're down to, we're just going to get 2 trump tricks, and they win the race here.
Yeah.
The South will be able to rough the diamond, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. Alright, down 1, but we earn 3 imps. Because the other table got to 4 clubs east-west. Way too high.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. It's a lot of bidding.
It does feel like a lot of bidding on the 7-card fit.
Zach opened a club with the East hand.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so then Michael then when they competed 2 hearts and 3 hearts, Michael competed to 4 clubs
Yep.
and was a little disappointed to find his partner with 4 diamonds and 3 clubs. But I mean, yeah, it's we Finn and I would have this problem, right? Because we open a club on a lot of those hands, and it's good in a lot of spots, but sometimes when you need to be competing for minor suit partials, it's really bad, right? And you do occasionally get to stupid places like 4 clubs, sometimes doubled, and we had one of those. I think that was the last day against Gavin and Raj, where Raj doubled us. I did 4 clubs, Raj double, and all I could think was, "Oh God, this is really, really bad." And it wasn't so bad. Finn played it well and got out for down 2 for -300. But we didn't have to go -300, and it could have been really bloody.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but those are the sacrifices you make for playing transfers over your club.
Right. Well, and it also could have been perfectly fine, right? That we competed accurately for the right minor suit partial, and everything is great, right? But there's the risk of it being bad, and you get burned every now and then.
Ooh.
So I think Neck has a 4-spade bid over jury, no slam interest really, and should be not too crazy. He has lots of finesses to take, but.
He does.
Some of them are winning.
Yeah. Trump finesse is winning, the club finesse is not. Probably try the club hook at trick 2. I mean, we know the spade hook is winning, so we can always do that later. The 7 of spades should... I mean, it could be like king doubleton or king third, but it's probably not. Alright. Spade comes back. Ace of clubs in a club ruff. Ace of diamonds in a diamond ruff. Pull the last trump. 11 tricks. Easy game. The other table's just 1 board ahead of us. But it does look like we're going to get out of here early.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these players are capable of being very fast a lot of the time, and they're fast a lot of the time, and then they take their time on the hands where they have problems.
Yeah.
So it's a good use of time, good time management, because you basically build up a bank of time, and then you cash it in when you need it, right?
Yeah.
I know for our partnership, for Finland, I probably used about 70% of our partnership's time, right?
Oh,
and I'm not slow, but okay. Sometimes I'm slow, but
no, you don't understand. We kibitzed Finn for 1 set, and you guys were done in like 45 minutes, and I just didn't have time to talk about any of the hands. You were way too fast.
Yeah, well, and especially with this format where you have each pair has their own clock. That you get basically 60 minutes at the start of the set as your pair's time.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to build up time on your partnership clock by not taking time in silly spots where you don't have problems or whatever else, and instead really dedicate that time to the difficult problems, of which there are always many. Some of them are, you're sort of hallucinating problems, and some of them are real problems. But you'd always rather take time in those places where it's more likely to matter. Because I know that both Finn and I definitely had a couple hands that, had we taken a little bit more time, probably would have at least had a shot to get right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know. Thinking of one hand in particular for me, where I just played too quickly. I played a card and then I realized, oh no, that was really bad. And you can't undo. So
yeah,
you can't undo for that sort of mistake.
No,
you can undo for
no.
A misclick, which by the way, I'm not sure if you saw in the first set, Mech misclicked in fourth seat.
I did. Yeah,
and passed out a board.
Yep.
That looks like it was adjusted. So I believe that it was a misclick, and I'm not sure exactly how they arranged the ruling, but I do know that they at least were trying to get a sense of what would be a normal result at the table had he not misclicked.
They did. Oh my God! Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Right
so
here.
I think the directors. I mean, I know that we were. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but we were polled, and I'm sure that some others were polled as well,
mm-hmm.
right? As to if what would be a normal auction if there wasn't a misclick, and so kind of props to the directors on trying to come up with a reasonable, equitable ruling. Speaking of pass outs,
the amount of pass outs we've seen from the Wolfson team, and Rosenthal apparently, is just mind blowing.
Yeah. You certainly would not have seen that in our match.
No.
Promise you that.
Yeah.
I don't think we passed out a single board this week.
I believe that. Yeah, I think this is a nice way to get the ruling right in that situation, because obviously Mexstroth wasn't going to pass out his ace king fifth of hearts. What was it, 12 count or 13 count or something in fourth seat?
14.
14. Yeah, there we go. Like, he was going to open.
Like, it was a clear enough.
Yeah.
It was a clear enough thing that they couldn't really get a bridge result and give him an undo, because after you pass out the board, you see all the hands.
Right.
So essentially they had one comparison, and I think we're trying to essentially get a sense of, get a few other potential comparisons, right? Of like, hey, if we get to this contract, what would happen here,
mm-hmm.
right? And so, I think they wound up giving the Wilson team, or giving Rosenthal 2 imps.
Yeah.
So my guess is that they found a bunch of people who would probably get to 3-0, and 1 or 2 people who might have gotten to 4 hearts, and they
mm-hmm.
said, okay, we're going to weight these and say that the datum is, 350 or whatever it is. And so, you win 2 imps against the datum. Okay. That feels like a reasonable and responsible way to resolve something like this. Because you don't really want something like that to be, to decide the match if you can help it, at least.
Are they also going to adjust
because
Aaron's misclick? Anker asks.
I don't know about that.
So they got to 3-0 trump, and Aaron had king 10-9 of spades opposite queen and 1. They let a spade at trick 1. Mm-hmm. He has 7 tricks outside of the spade suit, and no hope of developing mm-hmm. an extra trick elsewhere. So he won the opening lead with the 10 of spades, tested some suit to make sure it wasn't 5-0, and then he led the king of spades instead of the 9 of spades to the next trick. And so the defense just cashed out the next 5 spades.
Huh. I mean, I would think, I mean, that feels like a misclick, but,
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly a misclick, but it's a question of whether the directors are on board with those sorts of things. I think they should be a little bit more liberal than it sounds like they were, right? There were a few cases in our mm-hmm. matches where somebody misclicked, and as the opponent, I felt kind of bad, because I think they should be able to take back things that
right
pretty clearly were not intentional,
mm-hmm.
and I think that the fact that they did something and then immediately exclaimed, "Oh no!" or
mm-hmm.
Director, or various expletives, right?
Yeah.
is pretty good evidence that they didn't intend to do whatever they did.
Yeah, I agree.
And meanwhile, we missed Chris's lovely one heart bid. Baby's like, but he didn't want to pass a club favorable. So I like a heart. I mean, sometimes partner bids 3 or 4 and you feel kind of bad, but that's why you bid your tripleton and not your double.
True. Well, East West did figure out to cash out the heart suit.
They did, and it looks like they start with 10 tricks in the majors, and we might see the same 200 in both rooms, just different ways.
Yep. Just a simple push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about the Zach Grossack thing, but I do want to bring this up because I want to spread the joy. So Zach, earlier in the week, there was a hand that he was defending, and Declare claimed, I think it was like 8 tricks in some no-trump contract. And Zach realized not only was one of his honors like falling, and so on Declare's way to claim his 8 tricks, he would have gotten a 9th, but then his partner was going to get show-up squeezed. So Zach called the director, got the board rolled back, and gave the opponents 10 tricks in no-trump on the hand.
That's the right thing to do. I mean, he's an honest and ethical player, and granted, his alerts of his 1 no-trump openings work, but he is an ethical player, and that's the right thing to do. Right? If your opponents misclaim because they were getting more tricks, they should be entitled to those. And certainly, you don't want to win by shorting your opponents of tricks that they would have 100% gotten.
Yeah.
Right. Because especially in this format, right? It kind of behooves everybody to claim when the hand is a claim.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it stops you from burning through your time trying to figure out why hasn't Declare claimed yet.
Right.
And so, I am pro claim generally. And I think that, for things like that, it's the right thing to do to give your opponents the trick.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I just wanted to bring it up because I don't know if you had heard, but I had seen a different hand previously in the week where Zia had made a claim, and I was shouting at the screen because Zia had a show up squeeze on someone, and it was just going to work. The opponents were thinking about their discards and playing slowly, and so Zia just hit the claim button and claimed 1 fewer trick than he was going to get, and the opponents didn't adjust. Maybe they didn't see it, or maybe they just were just okay, Zia's claimed 10 tricks, he's just going to cash out, there's nothing more to the hand. And so I don't think Zia got the trick back.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think there's certain cases where, Declarer could reasonably not, is just taking their tricks and going home.
Yeah.
Right. Usually I would ask oh, is there Queen Jack Doubleton in this suit before claiming? Right. But so sometimes it's just okay, you get X in the end, and he gets a little sloppy. I mean, I think generally yes, you want to be letting Declarer get what they're entitled to. Right, but it really depends on the circumstance, right? There's definitely cases where if they're just banging down aces and kings, right, because they're taking their whatever 10 tricks, then it's not necessarily clear that they're going to bang down the aces and kings in the right order or whatever else. Those are a little trickier, but I think generally probably should be resolved in favor of Declarer, assuming everybody kind of sees and agrees.
Yeah.
So here looks like Eldad's 2 spades is sort of it's up. Their commas are useful, lest you eat, shoot, and leave. But. Yeah, commas are good.
Up to, comma, 9 spades? Is that where you think the comma should go here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Or up to 9 spades.
Yeah. Well, he has the full 9.
He does. He does. He has a pretty heavy hand. I mean, I'm actually a little surprised he did it even. So this is going to require some very good guesswork. It looks like. I would be shocked if he got. I would be shocked if he got spades right on the auction, and especially given that he's not going to be able to cash a spade and lead a diamond to the queen to figure things out, because that would just get roughed away.
Right.
Interestingly, in the other room, Zia and Michael played 3-0, which is, at least on this hand, given that they guessed well, was a big winner.
Wow.
East opened a weak 2 diamonds, and so now they played East to be short in spades, and that meant that with a heart, 2 diamonds, and 6 spades, that's 9. 10 is going to be an awful lot harder here.
Yeah, so what are Declare's prospects? You definitely have a club loser and a heart loser, and you're pretty likely to lose a diamond, so you have to avoid losing a spade trick.
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to say, oh well, I kind of need the ace of clubs to be on the side, right? And so he'll put Jeff with the ace of clubs, and put Berkowitz with the king queen of hearts. He doesn't really care where the king of diamonds is. There's just not a ton to go off of here. He knows that somebody has some shape, but I think it's probably just as likely that Burke is short in spades and has long diamonds, versus having a short diamonds and long spades here. And so I would be surprised if he actually made this, because even if he plays a spade to the ace and a diamond to the queen, which feels kind of natural here, right? That's just going to get roughed away, and a heart will get underled to Mexroth to get another rough, and he might finish 2 down even.
Yeah, I was thinking just why not duck the opening lead, and like if we duck the heart and Berkowitz decides to go after a diamond rough, which I don't know if he would. I guess they're just going to beat it then.
Right. Well, I mean, he should probably play the 8 of hearts, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, hey, it's high suit preference, right? In fact, a lot of times it's quite common for people to play that when you've shown at least 5 cards in a suit, you play that middle is encouraging, and the other table is playing 4 spades redouble next board. That should be exciting. But but basically, when you've shown 5 cards along, since you're kind of known to have spot cards to choose from, you play that middle is encouraging, and a high spot card is high suit preference, and a low spot card is low suit preference. So you kind of get to have the best of both worlds in that when partner, or when you want to encourage partner, you can you play a middle spot, and if you have something where you really care about giving suit preference, you can do that too. From the 6 from Berkowitz, it looks like that's probably what they're doing. Although I'm a little surprised, maybe he didn't want to give away the show, signaling diamond suit preference here.
Hey, Eleanor, who is commentating? I am joined by Adam Kaplan from the Kaplan team, who just won the USA1 Open Trials.
Yes, hi.
Yep, well, he did not guess the spades. Okay, no, we have to go to 4 spades redoubled. Hold on, I'm pulling up the other table. Good shout out.
Yes, and thank you to the people in chat. Such congrats. So yeah, they had a kind of interesting option. Zach intervened with his 6-5, which maybe gave Michael a little bit more confidence to be doubling 4 spades here. And Zia looking at a 17 count facing a Michael Camel opening bid, which is at least a jack or two better than a standard opening bid. Felt pretty comfortable redoubling, and sure enough, I mean, this is obviously has some handling to do, but especially tipped off to how the spades are splitting, Declarer at least has a decent shot here.
Yeah, now, is there too much of a problem because the spade suit is blocked?
Yeah. Like I basically think what'll wind up happening is Declarer really wants to be able to end play Michael in clubs, but he doesn't quite have enough transportation to do everything, so long as they keep hammering diamonds, because this diamond is going to take out the last entry. Right, and you can't rough the diamond back because you need the diamond for a heart pinch.
Right.
So he's going to basically be stuck with no way to get back to his hand, and be forced to get Michael off of the end play as a result.
Yeah. So up with the king of spades. Now a diamond or a spade back. Declarer can cash the 2-pointed suit cards, but if Declarer was able to get back to his hand and pull that last trump, then the fact that West has king, jack, 10 of clubs, he would be able to throw him in. I mean, even if East had jack or 10 double 10 of clubs, you could strip the heart to the king, run the 9 of clubs to West. But on the sly of the cards, there's just nothing Declarer can do.
Yeah, they're pretty stuck. I mean, he knows that Zach has 6 hearts, 1 spade. He's probably going to hope, from the 2 of diamonds, it's not clear whether diamonds are which way diamonds are 5-3 necessarily. I mean, maybe he has to be thinking that why has Zach bid in this live auction with absolutely nothing, right? Even by Zach standards, this is absolutely nothing, and so he's got to be probably thinking that he has some distribution. So he may actually have basically a full count on the hand. But the unfortunate thing for him is that that's actually not going to do him any good.
No.
Right. I mean, here, he can know every card, and it still doesn't matter so long as Zach's stiff club is a small one, right? If Zach had a stiff jack or 10 of clubs, now that's a different story, right? In fact, what I suspect he's going to do here is cash the king of diamonds and pitch a heart, and lead the 9 of clubs from the dummy, being very careful to ensure that he has the transportation, so that if it is stiff honor, that he'll be able to get back to his hand. Basically,
I don't think that does that. So the 9 of clubs,
on this
10
hand, it won't help.
Queen, king, West. Yeah, West is basically unplayed into giving you the club finesse, which also gives you an entry back to hand. Yeah.
Precisely. But importantly, if you led the 4 of clubs from dummy, then it doesn't work. So you have to, this is, there were a bunch of hands this week where, and I mean, it's such a common theme that comes up all the time, too.
Well,
where, being really careful to preserve transportation with your spot cards is such a huge thing to do. Being careless with it can often be very costly, sometimes in ways that you didn't even imagine time when you played the card.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So it's a great habit to get into of, trying to make sure that you preserve his communication as much as you can.
Yeah, this is
here, this is sort of a spot where it's a little counterintuitive because you don't know where the 5 of clubs is, but you don't actually need it. Right, because you don't need a club. You don't need 3 club tricks. You just need to only lose 1.
Right. Yeah, and so this is a great point that Adam's making. Just like a lot of these technique things. Like I think there was this hand, Adam, that you were declaring where you had a stiff club opposite 4 small and a small doubleton diamond opposite ace 4th and dummy. I forget what you were declaring, like 4 hearts or something like that. And they led a high club at trick 1 and played a second high club, and you pitched a diamond from hand. and this cut communication for the opponents in the diamond suit. And
it was actually a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been, but like I think
it actually was. This hand kept me up. I woke up at 4 a.m. and realized that I actually had terribly misplayed it.
Gotcha.
But I basically I had not terribly misplayed it. See, there's the 4 of clubs. But
so oh man, so much stuff. Let me chime in, because actually Diamond King pitch a heart 4 of clubs to the 10 queen works here, because you can rough the 4th round of clubs to get back to hand. So
yes,
it would be good technique to lead the 9, and you're talking about unblocking, so I'm with you there. But yeah, it technically wouldn't have mattered. But anyway, go on. What were you saying?
Right. Exactly. Yes, you can survive. But yeah. So on that hand, I do know the hand, because it was a sort of non-technical thing, right, to pitch a diamond. But basically, I thought that the likelihood of them actually shifting to diamonds was pretty low, and that they would just continue clubs. And so as long as they were doing that, I was okay to, I was okay and safe to pitch one,
right?
Because what I was trying to prevent was righty winning the diamond and playing a low heart, and me having to guess, are diamonds 6-1 or does righty have a queen 10-8 4th hearts? And so I just wanted to avoid that guess,
right?
And so this was a clean way for me to do that. But in any case, in the other room, they're playing 4 spades without the information of the double. Or the 2 heart bid. So, they're at a bit more of a disadvantage, perhaps.
Are we going to see a push? 4 spades undoubled, down 4. 4 spades redoubled, down 1.
Not quite.
No? Okay.
Just 3 imps.
3 imps for Rosenthal.
Yeah, the more I thought about that hand where I pitched a diamond, I mean, it was certainly a technical error, and it's just a question of how likely are the opponents to actually play a diamond when you pitch one. And if the answer is not very likely, which is what I believed at the time and still do believe, then it's a very interesting, what I like to, what the Rosenbergs and now I like to call a non-technical play, which is something that in some cases may even be technically wrong, but is hard enough for the opponents to figure out, or creates enough of a problem that whatever maybe it lacks in technical gain, it sometimes makes up in some other benefit, right? And here, the whole thing is that I didn't want my right-hand opponent to get the lead and play a heart, rightly or wrongly, and so this was my way of doing that, and it was very interesting hand, though.
It was.
And here we see Chris is worried about his king and 1 diamond. Where ordinarily he might bid 2 diamonds as a Q bid and say, hey, pick a major partner. Here he just bashes 4 spades because he doesn't want this hand to be played from his partner's side, since he really doesn't want a diamond lead coming through the king.
Right. Well, I mean, he's gonna get a diamond lead through the king eventually. If it's not at trick 1, it'll be later.
Unfortunately for him, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it feels like on this lead, he's going to try out a spade to the ace. He's certainly hoping that, hoping to catch stiff honor or something. I don't love the 9, but I get why. I guess he's basically thinking about this as, why didn't they open a no trump, or why didn't they do? If I'm going to how am I going to make this hand? Well, I need the king of spades on my right, because then the king queen of clubs are on my left.
Yep.
And so that's probably why he decided to go this way rather than anything else, because he's just thinking about sort of avoidance plays.
Yep.
And here he's kind of given up on the idea that West has king queen of clubs even, right? He hasn't even tried leading a club out of his hand.
Yeah.
And so, this will wind up, he still has 2 diamonds and a club to lose to go with a trump as well. So,
well, wait, here we go. Well, it's not like it's making, but
yeah, he at least he managed to save himself a trick, I think. I think Jeff might have been able to work out what was going on there, but maybe he was worried that David had a stiff club, possibly. In which case, if he flies queen, if flies king, it goes queen from declare, and if declare has that and the ace of diamonds, but they can't really have that. So I mean, I think he should have worked that out and gotten the extra under trick there.
Yeah, probably.
And we'll see in the other room they're in 3. We'll see if they go 1 down in 3 for a push.
Oh, last board of the set.
Yeah. Looks like Camel is play's gone a little different here. It looks like they started in clubs, and so Camel's going to be able to sort of see that Zach has the king of clubs, and Michael even opened a no trump, which makes it easier, right? Because at this point, in order to have anything resembling no opener, Michael has to have the king of spades.
Yes.
So he's just going to play ace of spades and a low spade, and hope to pick up king and 1, and that'll be that.
Yep. 10 of clubs is good for a heart discard.
Exactly.
So this will be a swing going the way of Wolfson on the last board, and that will cut the lead to 26 going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like Wolfson picked up 3 on the set. So, it's quite a slog to pick up 3, but
it was not too many pushes.
It'd be an exciting day tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Well, Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure. I might see if I can drop by a bit tomorrow as well. I'll be out and about a lot more, but probably watching on my phone at least.
Sounds good. All right. Take care.
Take care. See ya.
All right, chat. Let's quickly check in on the women's, and then I will call it for the day. Glad that we got some more guests in for commentary. Happy to see Adam. Whoops. Well, there goes that window. That's fine. I didn't need it anyway. We'll check in on the women's real quick. Okay, women's segments 7 and 8. The scoreboard. I know that's what we've all been waiting for. Baker is at plus 132. Zhang is sitting close to average, although they've had a tenant maybe time penalty or something here. So they're minus 16. Lewis is at minus 126. So the scores do add up with the tenant time penalty. And it does still feel like Baker has things under control, as does Zhang for the second place position. We're seeing some separation between the teams over there. They got one more day to play. USA2 Open has one more day to play. Wolfson against Rosenthal. Wolfson trailing by 26. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow, bright and early, like 11:30 a.m. Eastern or shortly before that to get things started. And we'll finish up coverage of the final day. And then on, what's tomorrow? Monday? On Tuesday, we're going to be doing the Real Bridge bidding panel. And also, apparently, if people want to play speedballs, that's probably a good day to do it. So those of you who did redeem, Shift, Dave Byko, Eric, Sir Robin, Richard, Matt, and Shift twice. If you all want to play speedballs, message me on Discord. We'll try and set something up for that Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. All right, I'm out. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Have a great day. I will see you all next time.